We chose the poem The Unknown Citizen by W.H. Auden because it was a concept that we all agreed on. How even though it was written in the 1940s, we think that it applies to society today, almost even more so than it did back then. How a lot of people tend to just kind of go with what society tells them to and go with the norm instead of going against the grain and everything. In society today, too many people are forced to kind of just go with what standards tell them to do, and they do that instead of sort of trying to stand out and go with what would really give them self-gratification instead of just doing their job on a day-to-day basis and living a very mundane routine life. This is a sketch that we put together that we think would be an interview with the unknown citizen, who is sort of the ideal man for society, who does everything he's supposed to do, but more or less doesn't accomplish anything by doing everything he's supposed to do.
All right, Mr. Smith, please come in, have a seat.
All right.
Can I get you a glass of water or anything?
Yeah, a glass of water would be great.
All right. Can I get a glass of water, please? Okay, let's get started here. Today is 17 November 1940. Subject is one Tom Jackson Smith. All right, let's begin. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Smith, says here you were born to Hank and Ethel Smith on August 23rd, 1881. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And you grew up at 3413 Chellam Road in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, they're on the east side.
East side. Okay. What were your parents like? How was your home life?
It was pretty. I think it was pretty good.
Siblings?
Yeah, we got along pretty good. My dad was a attorney for the state, so he wasn't really there too often. Our mom was. She took care of us mostly. She raised us, and I don't know, with my siblings, so we got on the football team, and yeah.
Normal life? No, pretty normal, you'd say?
Yeah, fights and stuff. And
Good student?
Yeah, pretty good, I guess. Mostly B's, few A's and C's. Never failed a class.
That's good.
Yeah.
Something to be happy about. No college, though, afterwards.
No, decided not to. My uncle, he worked for Fudge Motors, and I just went straight. I got my own place and he offered me a job and decided to go right in there.
Graduate high school and move out right away. How was that? I mean, how'd you enjoy your work? Enjoy your line of work?
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't that hard. I inspected the cars after they came off the lines, and so it wasn't anything hurt my back or anything. It was just normal, basically clerical work, to be honest.
Put food on the table.
Yeah, it did. That it did.
So supplied. Proud union member. Paid all the dues.
Yeah. I joined it.
Okay. Says here you enlisted in the draft at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Drafted into the war at 33.
Yeah, that was a shift.
Quartermaster school.
Yeah, I joined that. I got deployed to France for a brief period. Yeah, just mostly working on the back line, supplies, support role. And yeah, no real big war stories or anything.
Okay.
Made some friends.
So, come back, get married pretty quickly, it looks like. How'd that happen?
Well, I was pretty old. I was 33 at the time, so I was definitely looking to get married. Yeah, I met my wife in the shop. Came back after I came back at my old job, and yeah, I guess it went pretty quickly. We dated for about a year or so, and I guess we were engaged for about 3 months, and we're married. And she was pregnant.
When you know, you know. Got 5 kids. It's a good sized family.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't know, my wife, she mostly raised them. I was kind of like my father. I worked a lot, was home pretty late, gone pretty early, but I did the normal fathers, like the
coaching?
I played football with them and stuff.
All right, so now we're going to move a little bit away from the family life. One quick question for the final. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. How did you vote in the last election, Mr. Smith?
For Roosevelt.
Okay. And the election before that?
Roosevelt again.
Roosevelt again. 2 winners.
Yeah, he seemed to be the popular choice.
Seemed to be everyone's popular choice. Okay. So, final question, Mr. Smith. So, all in all, for a man of your generation, many would say, I would say, maybe even you would say, a pretty average, pretty normal life. I mean, excluding your family. Take your family out of the equation. What would you say that your greatest accomplishment is?
Excluding my family.
What did you do to change the world, Mr. Smith? The following is my report on one Tom Jackson Smith. He was found by the Bureau of Statistics to be one against whom there was no official complaint, and all the reports on his conduct agree that in the modern sense of an old-fashioned word, he was a saint, for in everything he did he served the greater community. Except for the war till the day he retired, he worked in a factory and never got fired, but satisfied his employers, Fudge Motors Incorporated. Yet he wasn't a scab or odd in his views, for his union reports that he paid his dues. Our report on his union shows it was sound, and our social psychology workers found that he was popular with his mates and liked to drink. The press are convinced that he bought a paper every day, and that his reactions to advertisements were normal in every way. Policies taken out in his name prove that he was fully insured, and his health card shows he was once in a hospital but left it cured. Both producers, research, and high-grade living declare he was fully sensible to the advantages of the installment plan and had everything necessary to the modern man: a phonograph, a radio, a car, and a Frigidaire. Our researchers into public opinion are content that he held the proper opinions for the time of year. When there was peace, he was for peace, and when there was war, he went. He was married and added 5 children to the population, which our eugenist says was right for the number for a parent of his generation. And our teachers report that he never interfered with their education. Was he free? Was he happy? The question is absurd. Had anything been wrong, we should certainly have heard.